Good morning. Welcome to Lower Body Friday. Okay, we're going to get ourselves in space and just jog gently on this. That's it. Just forwards and backwards, nice and gently. Nothing too onerous. Keep it easy. It's a Friday after all, and it's always good on Fridays. To be frank, I find it's always good on Monday all the way through to Sunday as well. It's amazing how much your mind can make a big difference in everything that you're doing. Okay, then some jumping jacks. Get those big joints moving. Get that synovial fluid flowing. Lubricate those joints. That's it. Nice big movements. Okay. And then from there, back into the jogging on spot. Yeah, we're just looking to raise the heart rate just a little bit. Get your body ready to work out. Okay, we'll kick those out. All right, so we're going to do 5 exercises specifically targeting our lower body. So that is our quads, muscles running down the front of our legs, hamstrings, muscles on the back of our legs, and our glutes. So our quads are there to allow us to straighten our legs. Our hamstrings are there to allow us to bend our legs, and our glutes provide that kind of big swing motion. Between the three of them, they're the kind of biggest muscles we have in our body, and they provide all that kind of locomotion, so all the movement that we do every day. So the best part is we increase the mass that we have in our legs, our actual muscle mass. It means that our body's going to be utilizing more energy all the time, which is absolutely fantastic if one of your objectives is around fat loss. Okay, so we're going to start off with some. Yes, we're going to start off with some of those. Brain's gone. Oh, stiff leg deadlifts. That's the one. So get ourselves into position. We're going to need a series of weights. Now, when we utilize this, our feet just need to be shoulder width apart. You can have a slight bend on your knees. That's perfectly okay. Keep your back nice and straight. So if you keep your shoulder blade pinned back, that's brilliant. And as you bend over, you want to feel like you're pushing your backside backwards and your arms are just going to dangle. You're going to get as close as you can to the ground. You're going to feel that stretch in the back of your hamstrings. And then from there, lift yourself back up by squeezing your glutes. So squeezing your hamstrings and stopping with your glutes at the top. So if you look at that from the side, again, pinning the back shoulder blades, so you can keep that back nice and straight, bending over as far as you can. Feel that stretch in the back of your hamstrings, then squeeze your hamstrings and stop by squeezing your glutes. From there, we're just going to go into some primal squats. You can do these with or without weights. And what we're going to do is bring our body as far down to the ground as we can. And from there, we're going to really squeeze our quads to drive the ground away. So when you see that from the side, again, all the way down as far as we can, and squeeze the quads, drive the ground away. As you get to the top, remember to stop with you by squeezing your glutes and engage your hips. After we've done that, we're going to go into some step-ups. Again, you can do these with or without weights. We're going to address the step. And what you're going to do is step up by squeezing your quads. And again, stopping when you get to the top by squeezing your glutes. So you should see your hips and feel your hips engage. From there, we're now going to move into some glute kickbacks. So get yourself over your bench or chair or step, whatever you've got available to you. And then what we're going to do is raise our leg by squeezing our glutes, stop for a second when we get to the top, and slowly bring it back down. So remember those 3 movements: raise, squeeze, and drop. We're going to do the same on the other side. So raise, squeeze, and return back to the beginning. After we've done that, we're going to stand on our lowest step. And we're going to go for some calf raises. So remember, really drop your weight down to feel that stretch in the back of your calf, and then squeeze your calves to raise your body back up. So it's really, the biggest part is going to be the big drop that you have. So really drive your heels lower than your feet, and then squeezing your calves to raise yourself back up again. If you need to, grab hold of something so you've got some balance. Otherwise, just feel that squeeze and stretch as you're going through it. Okay, so let's make a start with set number 1. We're going to do 4 sets, 10, 10, 12, and 15. I'm going to start off with our stiff leg deadlifts. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, too many. I was enjoying myself. Okay, from there into our primal squats. So again, adjust your feet if you need to, so slightly wider maybe, but no more than really shoulder width apart. Dropping our weight all the way down to the ground. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. From there, we're going to go into step ups. So addressing the step, again, squeeze through the quads, stop with your glutes. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay, and from there into our glute kickbacks. So again, try and get your body as horizontal as you can with the ground. So that makes sure you can get the greatest range of motion. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch legs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now for our final exercise, onto the bottom step, ready for calf raises. So really drive your heels down. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, have a break, have a drink. I'll pop the timer on. There we are. Very good. So last night I went to another networking meeting in York, York Professionals, which was really good fun. Met some nice and interesting people, and it was amazing because I was kind of talking to people about what they were doing in their businesses and the kind of changes, etc. And they were talking about obviously health and fitness, and actually what you need to do to kind of keep yourself on target. And it was amazing how enthused everybody really was when you start talking about these things. I could really see why they need to do it. And it was also interesting to see, the difference in some people that did actually try and put something in there versus those that didn't. And those people that have already tried to make those differences in their life, they're more enthused to actually continue to make a difference. They're enthused to kind of say, okay, what else can I do? How can I make things even better? And those people that hadn't quite made a change to make a difference in their lives at that point were still creating those excuses. So it's great to be amongst you guys, because obviously you guys have made that commitment to make a difference in your lives. And hopefully now you're starting to think, okay, how can I get even better? Speaking of which, let's get ourselves into set number 2. So we're going to start off with our stiff leg deadlifts. Again, focus on this is really around our quads and our glutes and our hamstrings. So really try and send your whole mind into that kind of space, starting off with your hamstrings. Really feel them stretch as you're going down, and then really send every single muscle fiber you can to squeeze them to bring yourself back up. We'll do 10 of these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and from there into our primal squats. So all the way down, and then squeezing and driving the floor away by squeezing our quads to push all the way back up. So again, send those thoughts into your quads. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. From there, transitioning over to our step ups. So again, think about our quads. Really drive our foot through the step effectively by squeezing our quads. And we'll get to the top, stop with our glutes. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay. Now into our glute kickback. So into our position holding onto the bench, our chair, our steps. And again, really focus on that feeling in your quads, in your glutes. It's not an area many people really think about all the time. But if we can do this, we can fire off those extra muscles, especially as we squeeze. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, too many, oh crumbs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 13 to do it last time. 12, 13. Okay, and now onto our bottom step. We're going to calf raises. Really drive those heels down and feel it in your calves. Feel them stretch, then feel the squeeze. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, have a break, grab a drink. It's amazing how much when you kind of just put your mind into your muscles rather than into just the count of the numbers, that you can suddenly, I don't know, you get to the point where everything else disappears. I think we've talked about this before. It's one of the kind of key reasons why, when I say to people, you can utilize this as a way of mindfulness and being able to let everything else disappear. It really can be, if you just kind of learn how to kind of connect with your muscles, and just everything else in the world doesn't matter. Just at this point in time, you're being good to you. You're spending the time being able to work out, and time is the one thing you can't get back. So it's probably the most expensive commodity you have. So getting the most out of that time you've got is absolutely fantastic. So being able to not only just work out yourself physically, but mentally, by doing things like mindfulness kind of exercises, can make a massive difference. But yeah, coming back to the conversations last night, one of the things that was quite interesting was about the number of excuses coming out. But we'll talk more about those after set number 3. Because for set number 3, there is no excuses. Okay. Back into stiff leg deadlifts. So shoulders back, pin back nicely, back nice and straight as we kind of go down. Speed-wise, slow on the way down. Really feel that stretch, fast on the way up. So we're utilising the most out of gravity. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and from there into our primal squat. So again, bringing our bottoms as close to the ground as we can. They're really driving floor away. Slower on the way down, faster on the way up. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, moving on to step ups. Our speed now is back into that rhythmic motion. So I kind of keep that rhythm going. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. Okay, from there, back into our glute kick weights. Speed on these, I've got 3 movements. Fasten the wheel, hold it for a moment, and then slow the way back down. And as we're holding it, squeeze those glutes. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch feet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Going up onto the bottom step as we go into calf raises. Speed-wise, slow on the way down, really feel that stretch, and then fast and powerful on the way up. I'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, have a break, have a drink. Let me pop the timer on. Da, da, da. There we are, I get a whole 60 seconds. So yeah, excuses. It's interesting because like the old quote says, you can either have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. And it's amazing how many people at the event were actually coming up with all sorts of excuses. And it's not that they didn't know they needed to do something, but there's always an excuse to come up with why they didn't know what to do, when to do, why to do, how to do. But probably the biggest one's always about time. So, they're always too busy to do. And, that old adage of, if you're too busy to involve your health and improve your health now, you better not be too busy to accept your illness later. And, yeah, trying to have that kind of conversation with people just to explore, what was the kind of time aspect, what was the kind of issue? Because we've identified before here, haven't we, that there's 2 kind of real things that people need. One is knowledge, and the other is time. If you can give people that, and they've got the motivation, especially from you guys, because you're already doing this, then they can do anything. They can make anything happen. So yeah, exploring that kind of time aspect was always quite interesting. And it really came down to almost like how most people didn't value themselves enough to put themselves first just for that short period of time. And they hadn't kind of made the connection, I don't think, between them putting themselves first and being able to continue to perform, either for what they like to do personally for themselves or for their family or for whatever really valued for them. So it was interesting, again, having that kind of conversation, and always comes back to, what are your kind of key values? And I'm sure you guys already know this because you're already doing these things, but leaning on those key values, especially in those moments of weakness where you're thinking, actually, I don't have the time, or I'm too busy, or blah, blah, blah. That's when, you definitely need to have those values. So, you can kind of push back off them and say, no, I need to do this so that I can be as busy as I'm doing. So I can get through that workload. So I can spend the time with the family. So I can enjoy myself running around, playing with the kids, etc., whatever it needs to be. Just like you can do set number 4. Okay, this is our last and final set. So moving on to 15 reps now, guys. Again, feet shoulder width apart, shoulders pinned back as we go into our stiff leg deadlifts. Bring it all together. Great form, fabulous connection with our hamstrings, and amazing timing. Slow on the way down, fast on the way up. And we'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and from there into our primal squats. So again, all the way down as far as close to the ground again. Challenge yourself just so you get that little bit closer. Then drive the floor away by squeezing your quads, stopping your glutes to the top. I'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, from there into step ups. Again, come into your step. Going to increase the pace just that little bit, but keeping a nice rhythm, really squeezing with our quads to drive our foot through the step and stopping with our glutes. I'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15. Okay. From there, moving over our step, as we go back into our glute kickbacks. Again, bring it all together. So really remember the timing. Fast on the way up, hold and squeeze, and slow on the way down. Keeping that focus in your glutes. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Switch legs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. We're over on to our bottom step as we go into our calf raises, our final exercise of this session this morning. So really put your mind into your calves, feel them stretch, feel them squeeze as you slowly lower into the ground and explosively push yourself off the step. We'll start these in 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, grab yourself a drink. That's the end of another lower body session for this week. Next week, yeah, we've got a full week ahead. Oh no, I haven't. Next week I'm away in London, so I'm at an event for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So next week we've just got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So have an absolutely fantastic weekend ahead. If you're in the UK and you're enjoying the bank holiday weekend, then yeah, looking forward to hearing how you get on. We will still have a session here on the Monday morning though, if you want to join us. And